Коллеги, добрый день. Мы начинаем. Рады вас.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. We are starting. It's great to see you all, especially offline. Andrei Gennadievich, let me express my gratitude from our community because gathering offline is quite hard and it's preparation, but the impressions and the cooperation makes a great effort, and it's just great. And great thanks to the community of construction, because 2023, from the point of digitalization, is a great step. The Republic of Bashkortostan is one of the leaders in the field of construction. And there are two cities that are the leaders, Moscow and Ufa. And the amount of meetings and discussions is great. And it is very important for me to be here, to come in Ufa. Dear colleagues, I would like to give the floor to the Prime Minister of the Government of the Republic of Bashkortostan, Andrei Nazarov. You're welcome. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. First of all, I would like to greet you all here in the International Business Week, which is the 16th time when we are holding this forum. And it's a great platform for new great results, and it is a unified platform for all participants who come here to Ufa can get an opportunity to cooperate with different participants from other countries. And we have representatives from 21 countries registered. And the unique thing of this forum is that all regions of Russia are represented here. We added special days for this week to arrange other events, big events, and also we will have a meeting of ministers of economy of regions of the Russian Federation. So the representative of the Ministry of Economic Development, Maxim Reshetnikov, is here, and also, I would like to say that it gives additional opportunities for all participants to find partners in different countries or in different regions of Russia, and it's one of the biggest goals of ours. And as the hosts, we would like all participants to be happy and to receive their own, to achieve their own goals. So we've chosen the topic of the view from the professional community in order to discuss what will happen in 25 years in our community, in our country, in the world, in the region. And the topic that we are discussing today in this session is one of the greatest, one of the most important topics of the nearest future, which is the digitalization, construction, and digitalization of construction. I think that today we can see that in 2050, digitalization will cover almost all services and state services in construction. We have more than 40 types of construction services digitalized today. We have more than 63,000 services in digital format. We see that there is a demand from the society and that the technologies of information modeling are improving and many companies are using them. And in the Republic, we use these technologies. And all of you, I'm sure, go through state expertises, and it's really important when you use new technologies that allows you to avoid mistakes and to speed up the process. And I'm sure that today construction depends on the speed and the quality. So these are the two main factors of development. So what is tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, and what is the low-quality product in the future? We cannot speak about it. Quality is an absolute goal of ours. And the second thing is how fast can we make a good project? So, when the COVID was there, we practiced how to construct faster, how to prepare houses and buildings in 2 weeks for hospitals. But then we changed the perspectives so that the construction would be there in 10 years. And so the speed and the level of quality is the future, and it's impossible without the digital aspect. So when we were in China, we saw how they do their constructions and how do they build their greatest buildings in 3 years. And many other examples. They are great, and they have all the important factors. We have great results. We have more than 40 services of urban construction digitalized, and in our country, digital products in construction are not higher than 3%. In China, there is 8%. We don't consider the USA, but they have 20%. It's not an example, but we sure should continue this work, and I would like to wish you all the productive work, the discussion of this field, and so that we will be sure that in 2025, in 2050, we are achieving the goals we are making. When we were deciding what to talk about in this session, I said that it's more important what will happen. They say it's more important what will happen next year, and I would like to say that these loans for buying apartments is really an important topic, and I'm sure as an optimist. An optimist is a good informed pessimist, and I can say that the loans are some loans are still developing, and it still works, and we provide such services. We provide construction, and construction moves our country forward, and I'm sure that we will all support it. And let's just mix quality construction and digitalization. I'm sure that here we have the same goal. Good luck. Thank you very much, Mr. Andrei Nazarov. I completely agree with you with all the aspects you mentioned. I wanted to mention that on Thursday we had the meeting concerning the construction. And by the way, we've been discussing that the developers have other priorities right now, but figures are just the instrument. And in recent years, we are going away from the slides where we show the faster speed or etc. We believe that our speeches should be concentrated on practice. I would like to thank my colleagues and the main state expertise department because it is the institution that made digitalization, that made it better, and the heads of these departments come to see us all. And I would like to give the floor to Alexey Ivanov, Deputy Head of Data Analysis of Keeping for the Unified State Register of Reports.
Dear colleagues, may I have my presentation, please? Indeed, we are witnessing a very interesting century when digitalization goes at a very high pace countrywide. And let's get back to the digital model definition, which was stated by the government. It is very often criticized because it allows for a lot of interpretation. It's a model of interlinked documents and modules and simulations. Actually, you can say that you can put any kind of documents under this, but we can also look at this definition in a positive way because we are in a transition stage. We don't have yet full-scale information models. I think this wide understanding when you say that information model is a model of a permanent construction facility, combination of interrelated data, documents, and materials, etc. But I think sooner or later we will come up with a proper definition. The main documents which regulate information modeling is the Civil Code, is the Civil Construction Code of the Russian Federation, also the decree of the government of the Russian Federation 1431. Unfortunately, it was outdated recently, but there was no new version to substitute. Now it is being discussed, all the updates and modifications. So as of now, we have a legal vacuum, but we don't stop working. We are moving ahead. We are going towards our goal. And also, I would like to mention some other decrees of the government of the Russian Federation, which the client and the construction company should follow, is Decree 331 and a set of rules 333, etc., which also sets the certain requirements. We, as an expert board, when we receive documents to go through the expertise, we follow order of the Ministry of Construction of Russia number 783, which means that the documents may be provided in electronic form, recognizable automatically, and you can find all the specification on our website. Here, by machine processable documents, we mean that we can take the data directly from those documents. If we have a document and we need to extract some information using some other documents, for example, regular machine learning, but it's not handy to use. What we mean by digitally processed, we have tagged in XML format. When all the characters are tagged through XML. Lately, we had a construction navigator event. We met with Mr. Nazarov. The subject of my presentation was that in 2022 there were only 2 XML charts published on our website. It was the statement of the expert board and also one of the diagrams related to estimates documentation. In November, when we met, we already have 20 of those documents instead of 2. Now our web page has more than 40 XML diagrams, which means some of them were outdated, to be replaced with more current ones, which means that we are in the process of working, it's developing, something is becoming outdated, and the data set which is required to build a full-scale digital model is ongoing. What we mean here is not only a 3D geometrical model, but also the whole bunch of information which helps to facilitate the project, meaning cutting on paperwork was something that helps to make prompt decisions, and so on and so forth. At the same time, since we are moving on to working with data, we should go away from textual editors. You should exclude from your lexicon. We have gotten used to that. We will carry on doing that. No, you should change. We have good products. The vendors provide us with very good products, which helps us to streamline, to arrange the processes of forming construction projects. And here you can see part of our activities is the State Review Board, which is our internal product based on which we assess projects. And then also Expertise Unified Digital Platform. It's used in other types of expert reviews. I will talk about it later. The very first XML diagram which was published, it was the statement of the Expert Review Board in 2021. All the experts switched to that. The transition wasn't it was quite painful, but not quite. But anyway, we received a significant decrease. We cut on the deadlines. It allowed us to quicker make up the statements, the resolutions with the expert review results. Also, we managed to obtain quicker database numbers because, as you know, without this registration number, it's impossible to issue the expert review statement. Here you can see how we cut on the timeline. Actually, it was equal to 72 times. This year, also, we made a huge leap in progressing in promoting our services. We hope this will help us in our expert review. We already see the very first fruit. We introduced an XML version of the explanatory note, which helps to arrange and to submit the general information about the facility, about the project, and also general information about the list of permits and design documentations. We received it in digital format. It helps us to make some of our actions automated. As far as I know, the majority of vendors have already implemented this kind of functionality in their products when just pressing by one button. All the set of documents, it helps to generate the application for an expert review. It helps to generate the explanatory note based on all the set of documentation you have. Usually there were a lot of questions questions from applicants regarding the paperwork. So now this takes just the leap of a second to generate the application. You have to input some of the information. Some of the fields are input automatically. Simultaneously, you can use this XML file to upload your design and project documentation. If previously the applicants were arranging documents in folders to communicate with experts, now you just upload it as a single archive. The simple identifies and distributes automatically the documents by type and target and scope, which significantly facilitates the work of experts. These kind of procedures are available not only for us, they are available throughout the whole unified digital platform of expert reviews. We have 148 expert institutions, both public and private ones. They are joining with the system. When using the system, we have a standardized approach to expertise. There is no difference between the public state expert review and non-governmental, private. And this platform also has the services for expert organizations, which allow them to do information modeling, to receive the data from project companies in digital format. This is how we've made up a free of charge service on how to make your explanatory note. It's a tool, it's a wizard, it's a digital wizard which helps you to generate explanatory note, and it's free of charge, and it's cross-platform. It's domestic made. We did import substitution. You install it in a local network of your local area network of your organization. Also, we also have a 3D platform. It's a viewer which helps to view AFC files of various formats. You can work with geometry, you can work with the rest of the attributes. I understand that for the vendors it's not a secret. All those functions, they are implemented, and to implement an expert review, it's not possible for the expert to have the software of all the vendors to provide functionality for all the vendors. And we should have a universal, single, integral tool. I can show you a video which will help you to understand our solution better. As I said, these are standard functions. You can rotate, you can do sections, you can make all the measurements, you can look at the attributes. And by doing so, as an expert society, we are ready to implement digital modeling. And now our main goal of the whole industry is to standardize approaches, how to implement models, how to streamline the legislation, how to standardize it, which will help us to get rid of 87, instruction 87, which will help us to go away from paper-based submission to digital. Thank you very much, Alexei. I would like to highlight one more time, there was a common opinion that going through the state expert review, regional or federal, is something very rigid procedure. And non-state review is something that is very light and liberal. And as you mentioned, there will be no difference regarding the complexity, whether the expert review is public, state, or private. All you need to do, go to the portal and use those services. Thank you so much. It's very impressive. Yes. Now, let me have the clicker, and may I have my presentation, please? Okay, we will pass around the clicker if necessary. Dear colleagues, I will briefly give the report because transition to digitalization, last year it has become very ideological. And we have mentioned many times that 25 years of the main vendors who have been very without saving on money. The foreign vendors, they were trying to make our construction companies, so to say, addicted to their own solutions, foreign-made solutions. But it was I call it the death of Pompeius. But nothing tragical happened, and when the foreign vendors left, and we have been told many times that creation of NOTIM was a union of all the Russian software vendors, digital product vendors, and when the actual import substitution started, our vendors were ready with their digital solutions and software. I should mention that a transition to domestic Russian-made products, it has a mental character. Very often when asked, what's better, Revit, Rega, let's compare, NanoCAD, AutoCAD, etc. This kind of comparison happens. Usually everyone is trying to protect their own software. Supporters of Revit said that my solution is better. No, it's not so. I have to say that Russian-based innovations, which are based on Russian legislation and referential engineering documentation, they offer their solutions every quarter. They come up with something new every month. And I think it's very important to see them in offline mode. Very often, a report about 5 or 7 minutes doesn't give you the big picture. And since we have the reporter here offline with us, and I encourage you to share contact details, communicate. We are already at the break point. 600 interviewed persons say, which is quite a demonstrative sampling. We see that the changes in the construction industry are here, and they are critical in a good sense. Our colleagues from NOTIM, they said that the age of the organization plays an important role. Young companies, they are ready for changes, and companies which are under 5 years of age, they demonstrate the highest results in terms of readiness for changes. Unfortunately, it's a fact. It doesn't mean that some trusts and some huge companies which have been around for 20, 30, 35 years in the market, that they will be left out from our attention. No. Alexei, you said one very important thing. The best is the worst than something good. Perfect doesn't mean better than good. I agree that China is a very high competitor. They pay a lot of attention to construction. If previously we were studying from people from Finland, Sweden, nowadays China demonstrates best practices in terms of construction digitalization. What are the sources of domestic software? I think that the only disadvantage of our vendors is very small marketing budgets. That's life, unfortunately. American industry has been implementing billions into promotion of Autodesk. When Bentley Concert made an application to enter into NOTIM 2 weeks before the special military operation in Ukraine started, the application still wasn't cancelled. They said, we invented $5 billion to promote and develop our project within 3 years. Can you imagine? $5 billion. I would like to suggest, I would like to wish you had similar budgets, but the realities are that an active form of promotion of NOTIM, and on Thursday I reported to the minister last year. I asked him to give the order to synchronize. And Mr. Nazarov, I would like to refer to you also, saying that we are ready to include into the program of our conferences and our events, the regional events as well. If you give us a list of events All the events you are holding in Bashkortostan related to Bashkortostan, we are ready to regard them as the priority ones. This red area, breeding your own employees, breeding your own talents, this is not very good. Usually it takes between 2 or 4 years when a young entry-level graduate is receiving a job. They spend 2 to 3 years to learn, but then they're leaving the company. Very often I receive criticism that I'm inviting young talents to St. Petersburg or Moscow. They usually attend 2 or 3 seminars and then they're headhunted by some other company. This is a negative factor. So this instability, this drain of staff is not very good. We are paying much attention to our schools. We are covering our departments and faculties who are involved in digital technologies. At the final 2 or 3 years of their studies, the graduates, future graduates, prospective graduates, they have already established contacts with their prospective digital employers. About measures of support, we presented it to the minister because discounted mortgage plays a very huge role in terms of finance and assisting the clients, the consumers. But we have also mentioned that there are some drawbacks at the federal level, for example, subsidizing, supporting, giving monetary funds to the domestic software. This will actually stop the development. And if we subsidize about 50%, why the licenses of Renga, Csoft, Nanosoft, Ascona, Gaskar Group, why they don't receive such kind of discounted finance? Because this means thousands of licenses, and we have reported about this to the government. From the point of view of taxation, I think we can talk about if you purchase software, we can add team and all the investments, which 20 or 30 million, actually they can enjoy discounted taxation, because this is crucially important. We hope that in 2024 this kind of decisions will be made, while the minister advised the relevant public departments to elaborate this in much detail. And everyone is expecting I received the notification, the narrative of the new document regarding NOTIM. We have incorporated all the comments, and there are no further comments. I think until 2024, the decree will be given by the government. One more time, it's very important to promote, to familiarize. This slide is updated on a regular basis. I would like to mention the role of integrators, which is very critical. Very often in the regions, people ask me, what should we start with? How do we do this? So today you will see the integrators, and among the leaders are BIM Pro, a company with a good, significant experience working with regional, large-scale companies. Also, please familiarize yourselves. On the 29th and 30th of November, we will have all-Russian convention with the management of Ministry of Construction, all the active regions, ADEL. I would like to especially invite you, because we will have a section developed to the participation between banks and developers, and we pay much attention to banks. If the public sector demonstrated very good results, and the minister mentioned that the introduction of the market requires some new forms of work, and what depends on the banks who provide project financing. And one of the points of discussion is to come up with an approach together with banks who will allow them to decrease the cost of loaning for the construction companies who are using business information models, building information models, and the use of software, which exactly the banks should verify. And on November 30th, we are going to see the relevant discussion. Here is a QR code. Please use it. Those of you who have not yet registered, who have not yet signed the webinars, free of charge, seminars, you can find them in NOTIM Telegram channel. Whenever anything happens, the first person to call is the deputy minister. When I come to a certain region, I meet the minister and the ministers of construction of the regions. They are already aware. Colleagues, thank you so much. Should you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I would like to give the floor to our colleagues from the region. And I'd like to give the floor to Vladislav Sidorkin, who is the acting Minister of Construction and Architecture of Republic of Bashkortostan.
Thank you very much, dear colleagues, dear Mr. Mikhail Yurovich, dear participants of the forum. I would like to speak about the digital scheme of the urban construction that we are having in the Republic of Bashkortostan. So today in the Republic, we have the great development of the Republic of the construction, which is planned until the 2030. And we are planning to integrate, with digitalize, we implement TIM technologies, and it is quite a hard process from the point of organization process. But we are ready to make an effort, and the system of the digital system is very important for the construction of the Republic of Bashkortostan. The information of construction of public objects in digital format is provided by the system called SUP. We signed the contract to use this platform, and now we provide technical support to use this platform. I would like to speak more about this platform. This platform, state platform, has been developing since 2016, and there are many organizations there. Today, the total scope of users is more than 1.5 thousand people there. It is one of the leading platforms after Moscow and Moscow region platforms. It is advanced system, and it is respected and accepted on the regional level. We have 42 services of urban construction on this platform. We've received, from 2020 to 2023, we've received more than 67,000 applications for services. Within the last years, we've had more than 4,000 applications, and now the system, the platform, has all the information necessary for construction of the Republic of Bashkortostan. Till the end of 2023, the platform will be integrated with outer systems. We will integrate the subsystem on this platform called CIRD, which provide us faster provision of services, and we will enhance the speed by 30%. This project in 2023 won the competition of Prof IT and is one of the best practices on the federal level. we are now developing the functional abilities of this platform. And one more achievement of this platform is the subsystem of documentation planning for planning the territory. After implementing it and testing, the process will decrease in 30%. In this part, the Republic of Bashkortostan is the leader. To sum up, I would like to highlight that in the Republic we have a great potential for solving the issues and developing, and we are aimed to implement digital technologies to all construction field, to all the fields of construction. Thank you very much. I have the suggestion, since we have a competition in the end of the year, please make an application and participate. I would like to give the floor to Gennady Razumikin, Minister of Digital Development of Governmental Administration of the Republic. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I would like to also speak a little bit about this platform, digital platform. Our reason of we are honored that this platform in Ufa that was implemented in 1995. In 2 years, this platform will be 30 years old already, and we took this platform in order to develop it further. So this platform is a great place to receive applications, and it is great for construction. And mostly we have the result automatically, so we have the permission for construction there. And it's also important that we, while implementing this platform, we also put an effort to the documentation aspect. So before implementation of this platform, we had 63 different services for each region. And when we implemented this platform, now we have the unified requirements for the Republic. And as a result, if you look at the slide, you will see that in 2023, we have mirrored the situation and we've changed the perspective. So if in 2019 we had personal applications mostly, now most of them are made online. 4 and 2% are still visiting places, state places, to make an application. The second aspect is that we realize that construction is connected with these land relations, and it is important to cooperate with the Ministry of Land Relations, and the approach is quite the same. This register offers land for businesses and for public companies, and also there is an ability to see to use this platform and to see the results online. It is important that both systems are implemented on the same platform. It is one system, but colleagues work on different levels. And we have this huge system that we call territory, which includes many other important fields of construction. different fields that are important. And all in all, about 5,000 users of the system are state employees and state participants of state companies. And one more important thing is that we have the platform, we have a section on the state website, Госуслуги. We have different sections here. We've made a chain that connects all the construction services, starting from what are we constructing, and then following the chain, you have all the services online. And the users, for example, if a user got an application, if you want to apply for construction, and the user gets all the necessary documentation online, and this service has more than 10,000 users. I'm ready to answer the questions. So we have the timing, unfortunately, and please feel free to communicate after the meeting. Thank you very much, Gennady. This platform is really important. When we launched Госуслуги, we forgot the times when they were so difficult to work with, and this platform also has this future. We will get used to this platform, and the tight cooperation with our country, with our partners and our countries, partners from different countries. And I would like to give the floor to Dzia Inke concerning the Gansu province experience in construction. You have the floor. Good morning, dear colleagues and dear friends. I'm really happy that you were in Shanghai, but that you weren't in Shangsu, because this is really not that far away from Shanghai. Please, let's look at the screen and let's watch the video about the construction in our province. It's 3 minutes long. Let's watch it together.
Ива, я думаю,
Thank
что
you.
да. Если коротко о провинции Jiangsu,
To
то
speak about it
население
briefly,
провинции
the
Jiangsu 85 миллионов.
population of Jiangsu is
ВВП
85
провинции
million
Jiangsu это
people.
примерно 10%
It is
ВВП
about of
Китая.
10%
Производство провинции
from
Jiangsu
the
это
whole population of
приблизительно
China.
11-12%
It's about 11 or 12%
производства Китая,
of
примерно
production of
4%
China,
производства в мире.
4% of production in the world. In Jiangsu province, we have 158
строительство
production
тоже
parks.
является один из
Construction is one of
развитых
the main
отраслей
fields
провинции
of
Мы в провинции Jiangsu
Jiangsu
занимаемся
province.
примерно 13%
It takes about
общий объем
13% of
строительства
the whole
Китая. Много лет
construction
подряд
field of
занимает первое
China,
место
and
в
it
Китае.
takes the
И
first place
численность,
for many
кто
years
работает в строительстве
of
в Jiangsu,
construction field.
примерно 9 миллионов. Еще один хороший
One
пример.
more a great
Строительные
example
бригада
of
провинции Jiangsu, они приняли
building
участие в строительстве
teams of
самой
Jiangsu
высокой
province
башни в
took
Дубае
part
Альфа.
in
Это
construction
башня
of the highest
28 метров,
buildings in Dubai.
162 этажа. Вот как раз строительная бригада нашей области
So our
Jiangsu приняла.
construction
Ну,
team took
все
part in
наши
it,
коллеги
in
уже
this
сказали,
construction. As our colleagues said,
цифровизация сейчас
digitalization
такой модная тема
is a
и действительно
trending
очень
topic,
развитый в
and
провинции Jiangsu.
it is
Мы так
really
часто
developed
слышим,
in Jiangsu
например,
province.
big
We
данные,
often
умные города,
have
умные
we
транспорт,
have
умные
smart
строительства и так далее.
construction,
Я тоже
smart
слышал,
cities.
смотрел реформа из Башкортостана. И действительно в
As I
провинции Jiangsu
see
тоже так.
from
Мы
what
сейчас
you've been saying,
строительные бригады и строительные
our
компании, они не только строительные
companies
отрасли, они
and
получают
our
разрешение на
construction
строительство
field,
все онлайн.
they get the permissions for constructions online. They don't have to go somewhere to offices to get the permission. And one more example, in some houses and some buildings in our province, the temperature is about 20 up to 26 degrees. It is the most comfortable temperature. Briefly, about the Jiangsu province, about our construction field, we invite you, our dear friends from Russia, Kazakhstan, Belarus, Kyrgyzstan, to visit our province to communicate with our colleagues who work in construction field. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm sure we need to plan a visit for 2024. We should include construction people, IT people, and we will follow up. This is my suggestion. We just saw futuristic future, and there is a lot of discussion going on around foreign currencies and the currency of yuan, ruble plus yuan. I think it's already a reality. If our neighboring countries unite the economies of our countries, yuan will be stronger than dollar and euro. And soon we are going to have an informal session about if artificial intelligence conquers the world, let's make sure it's made by Russia and China. This was a joke. Let's get to some serious things. I would like to pass the word. Speaking about perspectives and some pragmatics, BIMPRO is an integrator from St. Petersburg, not Moscow, which boasts of everything best in the country, and colleagues have been practicing of implementing building information modeling, and Dmitry Smorodin He is a member of a work group representing the interests of NOTIM. Interactions with banks, Dom RF, Sberbank, VTB, and they are the main player who generates the main portion of project financing and what is done by integrators, and they are concentrating this. Let's give the floor to Dmitry.
Здравствуйте, коллеги.
Greetings, colleagues.
Спасибо за приглашение.
Thank you very much
Раз
for
начали
your
про банк, сразу
invitation.
скажу.
Since we are
Неделю
talking
назад
about banks, a week ago,
с Михаилом Юрьевичем
me and Mikhail, we
сессии
were
ВТБ,
present at the
банк
session of
«Девелопер».
VTB, developer
Там
banks.
старший вице-президент
The senior vice
банка
president
ВТБ
of
Вовк
VTB,
Антон Сергеевич
Anton
нам
Vovk,
сообщил всем, что
he informed us
втроем
that the three of them, VTB, Sberbank, and Dom RF, they made a regulation according to which they will accept BIM models. The developing companies will have to submit BIM models in order to receive financing. So I have a regulation in my hands, it's about 400 pages. I think it's too much. We are for simplicity here. Introduction of building information model. We are still thinking, those of you who are not going to have a model based on regulation,
немножко повышенную ставку.
they will receive,
Ну, это вот,
those who have
согласен,
the
я так
building
думаю.
information model,
Иначе зачем все это нужно?
they will enjoy discounted rates of loans.
Мы точно знаем, кому
Now,
не нужна эта презентация. Первый трест.
I know
Здрасте,
who
Владимир
doesn't need this
глубоко
presentation.
в BIM,
Trust
и сами
number one,
могут, в общем-то, многих
hello
научить.
Ildar, they are deeply in building
Коротко о
information
себе.
modeling and they can teach anyone else.
Компания BIM-Pro, меня зовут Смородин Дмитрий, я
My
партнер.
name is
Проектируем в Team
Dmitry Smorodin. I'm a
10 лет, в
partner.
основном
We've
жилье.
been designing accommodation in BIM for 10 years now. Our clients,
Имеем благодарности за
we
цифровизацию
have
от
letters
главы
of gratitude,
от Степашина,
letters of
Михаила Юрьевича,
recognition from the Ministry of
от
Construction,
группы Settle.
from Vladimir
Застройщик 2,5 миллиона
Stepashin.
метров в год. Почему я
We
обращаю внимание
have
на
the
благодарность?
annual
Они
construction
до начала этого года
volumes
не имели
of
отношения.
several
Они
hundred
строили,
square meters,
как
thousand
всегда,
square meters.
из плоской документации.
Some of
Обратились
the
в NOTIM,
players,
те
they
порекомендовали
used
нас,
just
и мы за 2 месяца
2D
им
documents,
преимущество TIM
and
обозначили
they
путем
approached us, and we provided
кейса,
them,
касающегося
which
детского садика. То есть мы взяли их плоскую документацию и замоделировали. Мы не рекомендуем так
we
делать.
recommend,
Всё-таки лучше
we modeled a
сразу в BIM,
kindergarten
но если
in
вдруг
2D mode, but
кому-то
then
хочется
transferred in
ознакомиться
3D.
с,
I don't recommend doing this.
преимуществами
I
TIM,
recommend
именно
working with
это
3D,
описать сейчас,
3D
то
model
это
right
прекрасный
away.
способ.
I
Далее
think
будет подробно о нем.
the information model,
Здесь,
technology of information modeling,
Хочу сказать,
TIM,
что больше переносов
I
TIM
would
не
like
будет,
to
и с
say
1 июля
that
действительно
there will be no
все
transitions.
застройщики должны будут
There will
иметь
be,
какую-нибудь
you will
TIM-модель.
not
Хоть
be allowed
какую-нибудь
to
TIM-модель.
convert 2D model into
Поэтому
3D
TIM звонит
model.
по всем.
And starting from,
До
I show it like a bell,
совещания,
like
которое
for whom the bell tolls. The bell tolls for those who doesn't have 3D models yet, information models, who
Предлагаем
use
понять
two-dimensional
преимущество
models.
TIM через TIM-аудит.
To understand the advantages of TIM, you need to study TIM audit in more
На следующий
detail.
день
As of now,
53% не используют
53%
застройщиков.
of developer
Но им придется это
companies,
сделать.
they don't use TIM.
Мы думаем,
But
что
they will have to do it
TIM-модели
because we
будут,
think that
конечно, потому что есть закон,
TIM
но, наверное,
models
низкого качества.
will be
И
available
всё-таки
because
ставка
there is a
будет делаться
law
на
in place,
документацию, в том
but
числе,
we are
которую
afraid
прежде.
some of
И
them
в
will
экспертизу
be
с 2D
low
будут заходить,
quality,
наверное, и в банки.
and
И строить,
actually
конечно, будут
people
из
will
ВД.
still use 2D. They will use it in
Тут, собственно говоря,
construction
наш способ. Мы
site.
полагаем, что упрощенные
So,
техзадания, которые
here
мы
is
разработали,
our
позволят,
vision.
приложив
We
20%
think that
усилий, получить
simplified
80% результата, который
basis of
гарантирует
designs
технологии
will give you a
информационного
better
моделирования.
result, and information modeling
Мы
is there
полагаем,
to
что
help you.
глубокая проработка и
think that
глубокая детализация
Deep
не нужна,
details,
по крайней
you
мере, на
don't
первых
need to
порах
make
точно.
it too detailed at the initial stages.
Так примерно выглядит
And here
процесс
is what
TIM-аудита,
the
который мы
process of
проводим.
team audit looks
Немножко
like.
напоминает
That's
пентаграмму,
what we
но
do.
в целом,
It looks like a pentagram,
по сути своей,
probably,
этот процесс
but
не так далеко
actually
ушел от того, к чему призывают
the process
пентаграммы.
is
Значит, берем
there.
модель детского сада.
Let's take a model of a
мест,
kindergarten.
площадь 4200 метров.
350,
Цена строительства от генподрядчика
220 children are residents and 200,000 square meters. The initial cost was 350 million. We made an audit, we cut this cost to 85.5 million. If we look at the parts, actually at the input data, in the detailed design, we see that there are a lot of packages of documents. For example, architectural designs, HVAC, etc. Some of them are not needed. We're using software to look for mistakes. Usually we do it in manual mode. We have architects, we have designers, we have BIM experts, including we had to start the survey department. These are the mistakes you can actually identify with the help of TIM. On the left, you can see the solution, the tool which we use for it. And the most interesting thing, which nobody does, we look for mistakes in specifications, in the bills of materials. It allows us to calculate exact quantities. Then we prepare quotes. At the initial stages, we invite contractors and subcontractors and vendors. Thanks to rectification of mistakes, we see the overuse of materials and maybe a lack. In some cases, there might be 4 times more. For example, 150 concrete volume was designed. Maybe it's a mistake or someone is trying to misguide you. Then we look at the cost of rectifying mistakes in the construction process. We take the minimal cost. We do marketing for materials. We do the market survey. We also do the market survey for works. By doing so, we are identifying the actual cost, the market cost of certain materials without any abuses. Then we make a table on the basis of which you will be able to understand how much it would cost to rectify a failure, a mistake in the construction site. Also, what we do, we calculate loans. I think now it's about 13%. I think now it's higher. At this stage, we save 27 million, about 77% of the cost of construction. Then we analyze the cost estimates very often the general designer, usually they don't study in much detail how much, for example, cast in situ works, they were estimated at 35% more money were allocated for cast in situ than required, that they actually costed. So what the frame, they will do the frame, they will cover it with some cheaper materials, they will have profit and they will disappear from the construction site if some contracts occur. Business information model helps you to tackle this kind of problems. Then we come up with a report of this kind. At the bottom you can see the examples of tables. We use the spreadsheets. This report is about 600 pages. Usually it helps to save about 72 million rubles out of 350 initially allocated. Yes. So we go to the construction site with a laser scanner. We can control, we can test the quality of cast in situ structures, basement, level 1, level 2, level 3. Because of deviations, we can find another 7 million rubles, and we actually advise the contractor to rectify the final stages, photogrammetry for already installed utilities. We have a special project. The utility people, they arrange the layout of their utilities, and then we come, we make pictures, we match the pictures with the model, and we see overuse. Another 6 million rubles you can see. These are examples of price deviations.
Here you can see the overuse of custom-seat works. They allocated 90, but in fact 56 was required, so 32 million will be saved in total, and usually it takes a year. I think this is not quite right. Here's an example of, this is just a loud example. They estimated 570 million. The build information model allows you to have savings. So this is the summary, what we managed to achieve and what we'll be able to achieve in the future once TIM begins. Project mistakes, 14 million savings. Overpay, overuse of project financing, 13 million rubles. Price deviations, 45. Construction supervision, 13 million. In general, we managed to save 85 million rubles, 24% from the initial and now amount stated by the constructor. Usually, these are the risks which the construction companies impose, and they want to cover risks in this margin. If you have exact timeline, if you have exact deadlines, exact quantities, usually it allows to save on project and construction works. Thank you very much for your attention. Well, yes, thank you very much again. I suggest we continue consultations once we complete. I would like to give Salavat the moderation. Me and Fidel, I think we need to go back. We need to leave you to sign some important documents, and I would like to pass over the moderation function to my colleague. So today we have Samolyot representatives who are one of the best in the industry. I think one of the keys to success is the use of building information model, and this allowed us to achieve quite significant results. I would like to give the floor to my colleague. May I have my presentation, please, on the screen? Valeria Ovchinnikova. Efficient use of TIM models in Samolyot. Some facts. The company was established in 2012. Now we are one of the largest developer companies. Starting from 2012, our focus of development is digitalization of the stages of construction and investment projects. So we developed a platform. It's called Samolyot 10D. It's an IT product platform to control and automate an investment and construction project. Each of 10D is a set of products which ensures high efficiency, high performance, and quality of works as part of each stages of investment project. Stage 1 and 2D includes finding the site as per the civil construction plan. Then comes the 3D, the design, which includes development of digital information models and issuing the project documentation based on it. And 4D stage is a stage when we make the bills of quantities and works, materials, construction cost. Then comes 5D stage. It's a stage when we develop bidding, schedule, and of works implementation. 6D is the actual bidding process, procurement of materials, shipment. 7D is a stage when we control implementation of works and certificates, statements of works. Also, we have 8, 9, and 10D. I decided not to include this into my presentation because part of the project's product products of the given stages are still under development. Let's talk about 3D. At 3D stage, as I said, it's a design stage, which includes development of digital models and issuing of project documentation based on it. These are the kind of models we develop. We do structural models, architectural models, utility models, 100%, and infrastructural model. Also, we make a summary model, which we check for collisions and dimensional correctness. Also, we do the quality audit, and for that, we prepared a number of dashboards. This is a collision control, which allows to find the most priority collisions, and parameter control, which in order so that we could use our model and data from our model at the consecutive stages, we need to make sure that the parametric component of the information model completely matches our standards and regulations. Then comes 4D. Once we have made our models and once we have verified them, we go to stage 4. It's a stage which includes automatic generation of the list of materials and works and quantities. We use the information model. We calculate the cost of construction. Here is the workflow. We have a digital model, and with the help of a special tool or a plugin, we download data into another system where we match, compare types of works and materials. This is how the types of works components are matched. It's done in automatic mode. The part which has not been compared in automatic mode, you can do it in manual mode, but this is done with the help of artificial intelligence. And about 80% of types and groups of works are compared without any mistakes in automatic mode. Once we received the bills of quantities, we go down to S-cost system, and the data we received at the previous level, we calculate price, and by doing a couple of clicks, as you can see in the slide, we can form the cost of construction, the total cost of construction. So, regarding the performance, what's the efficiency of using TIM at 3D and 4D? At 3D stage, we receive high-quality project documentation, which is extracted from the digital model. We also have the required amount of correct data set of volumes and quantities, and we have correct and traceable technical solutions and design concepts. At 4D stage, we have a bill of quantities based on the model, and we have the calculation of the total cost of construction estimate. This is it. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for your report. And I have a question. On the one hand, it's quite short presentation, but the results you have is tremendous. Me, as a Moscovite, I see a lot of facilities which you are implementing. Yes, as part of these presentations, we decided to talk more about the stages which include the development of digital models and the follow-up stages. And also, I would like to mention that here in Ufa, we are visited now by some leading developers of software, including CSoft, a well-renowned player in the market. We have Yegor Bachurin, sorry. Please tell us about the products of CSoft development. What are the highlights? What you would like to mention? What are the milestones and cornerstones?
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. May I have the clicker, please?
Ну, сегодня на самом деле очень много говорили,
So
в
today
том
we
числе
spoke a lot
наши коллеги
about
про преимущества внедрения BIM, да, и
the
вообще в
advantages
целом
of
про то, куда мы
implementation
стремимся.
of
Кратко о
BIM
компании,
and
которую я
TIM.
представляю. Я представляю
So
компанию
I
Soft
represent the
Development.
company
Мы
Soft
занимаемся в
Development.
целом разработкой
We
программного
are responsible
обеспечения
for development of
для ключевых таргетированных клиентов, в том
software
числе оказываем
for
там
our key
комплексное внедрение.
clients, and we
Основной
provide
продукт, про
complex
который сегодня я хотел бы
implementation.
рассказать,
And
это
one of the
продукт
main
для
projects I
проектирования
would
и
like to talk
эксплуатации. На самом
about
деле
is
не хватит с точки зрения регламента рассказать про все функциональные возможности продуктовой линейки,
I
которые я
won't actually
представляю.
have enough
Да,
time
опять же,
to
если
speak
кому
about
интересно,
all
можно в кулуарах пообщаться.
the
У нас продукт
aspects, but
поставляется и разрабатывается достаточно
our
давно, то есть на
product
рынке сама
has been
продуктовая линейка более
developing
15
and
лет. И
providing
основное
for
направление
many
это в первую
years,
очередь
and one of the
разработка
main
рабочей проектной
directions of our
документации и
activity
последующей
is
эксплуатации информационной
the
модели.
working
То
documentation.
есть у нас есть, как правило, два основных блока.
And
Это мы
also
говорим вот именно про
we
продуктовую
have
линейку, которую
two
я сейчас
main
хотел бы
units,
показать.
two
В том
main
числе у нас есть
sections of our work. So we
решение
have
по, скажем так, документообороту, да,
document flow
по
decisions.
календарному планированию и
We
так далее,
have
но опять же в силу
calendar
регламента
planning
не буду
decisions,
затрагивать
but
эти решения.
unfortunately
Здесь вы
we
видите
are running out
основные
of time,
направления
so I
зоны
won't
покрытия нашей
touch this
продуктовой
topic.
линейки. Как вы видите, она
So as you
достаточно
see on
обширная.
slides, we
Здесь
have
представлены не все марки
many
комплекта чертежей, которые, как правило, мы
spheres
закрываем.
of implementation of
Они,
our
опять же, индивидуальны,
products.
в силу,
So
опять же, функциональных возможностей, там, выхода новых версий,
those
и все зависит,
aspects are
опять же,
different
от
depending on
конкретного заказчика, конкретного пилота.
the goal.
Здесь вы видите клиентов, да,
You
я,
can
опять же,
see our
буду просто
clients.
пролистывать
Here on the slide,
реализованные
I will
проекты.
just
Кому
go
будет
through
интересно,
it.
можно пообщаться,
Who is
опять же, в
interested, we
кулуарах.
can
Хотел бы отметить,
discuss
что
it
вообще,
later.
если мы говорим про внедрение
I would
программных
like to
продуктов
mention that
и
when we
проведение
speak about
аудита,
implementation of,
тут коллега уже показывал там их
software
схему проведения аудита,
and
она действительно,
audit
возможно, похожа на
process,
пентаграмму, но на деле мы видим тенденцию
we
того,
see
что заказчики,
the
которые уже
customers
используют зарубежные
who
программные
use,
продукты, на деле они даже их
foreign
не используют
products,
достаточно
they don't
эффективно,
use it quite
и схема
effectively.
взаимодействия,
And the,
совместной работы, да,
the
она не
cooperation
всегда,
is not
скажем так, правильная, даже
correct
при использовании зарубежного
sometimes,
программного продукта.
even when
Если мы говорим
they
про
use
основную,
foreign
скажем так,
products. Speaking of the
позицию
main
заказчиков, которые
position of our
рассматривают
customers
какое-либо
who
импортозамещение,
consider
ключевой вопрос это наполнение каталогов, да, это
the
перенос их имеющихся
changing
наработок
the software
под новое ПО, которое они в последующем будут использовать.
to
Такую возможность мы
the
предоставляем, в том
software
числе
that we are going to
предоставляем
use
именно
later.
своими
We
силами. Ну, как
provide
правило,
such services
проводим
and
обучение
such
для того,
opportunities.
чтобы в
We
последующем заказчик
make trainings
не зависел ни от
for
какой сторонней
our
компании, мог
clients
это
so
делать все
that
самостоятельно.
our
Что
customers
касается
can
вообще нашего
do
программного
everything
обеспечения,
by
то
themselves.
оно делится на
So
два основных
speaking
блока.
of
Первый блок — это
further,
создание
speaking
информационной
further,
модели,
the
все, что
first
связано
thing
с проектированием,
is
выводом спецификации и так далее. И
planning,
второй блок —
and the
это
second
среда общих данных или
aspect
среда,
is
где собирается вся
general
информационная модель. Кто работает с
data
зарубежными
with the
продуктами, это
informational
аналог
model.
условно Navisworks, да, всем достаточно
It
известный
is
продукт.
an
То есть мы предлагаем в этом
analog
направлении
of
Kotlin.
the famous
Давайте я
foreign
схематично объясню простым, я думаю,
system.
максимально
So let
образом,
me
что из себя
explain it
представляет
simply.
продуктовая линейка, как она работает.
How
Постараюсь
does
быстро
the
достаточно
system work?
рассказывать,
I would,
извините, опять же,
I
в силу
will
регламента.
try
То есть
to
верхний блок — это среда
speak
проектирования. Базируемся
So
мы на
we
клиент-серверной
are-
архитектуре. То есть здесь, почему я об этом упоминаю, потому что в большинстве
I'm
случаев
mentioning it
компании используют
because
SQL-сервер,
many
разработчик, которым
companies
является
use
компания Microsoft. Мы в том
different
числе
server
поддерживаем PostgreSQL,
by
это российский
Microsoft,
разработчик, и
but
на
we
самом деле
support
многие
our
компании
domestic
уже сейчас уходят от
system,
Outlook
our
и всем
domestic
привычным
software,
софтам, которые используются
and
в
we
офисе
are
и так
trying
далее.
to
И мы
use
уже
our
ключевых
own
клиентов курируем в направлении
programs.
перехода, как пример
And we
использования
are
Linux, а не
trying to
Windows
use, for example,
операционной
Linux
системы.
instead of
То есть здесь мы
Windows.
поддерживаем не только
And we
разработку
support
Microsoft. Продуктовая линейка порядка
other
15 решений,
software
каждый из
too.
которых вот в самом начале я
We
показывал
have
табличку, там
different
показано, какие
solutions.
направления мы закрываем.
We have
Схематично работа в
solutions for
программе
many
базируется на
other
так называемых
different
автоматизированных
types of
рабочих местах.
activities. So we
По
have
большому счету это набор необходимых
fast
инструментов
organization
и
of complex
преднастроенных
work
настроек, преднастроенных, скажем так, даже
that
рабочих мест,
depends on
которые позволяют
automated
выпускать
working
и
places.
проектировать нужную
And that
документацию,
allows us to
3D-модели
make
и так далее.
necessary
Основная платформа
documentation
здесь у нас выступает с точки точки зрения
projects of the
графического
main
ядра это
platform
Nanocad,
is
разработчики
Nanocad.
которыми являются
The
наши
developers
партнеры
are our
разработка.
partners,
Если
non-soft
используете AutoCAD,
development,
можно использовать
and if
AutoCAD.
you
Библиотеки
use
насчитывают
AutoCAD, you can
порядка
use it.
несколько десятков, а то и сотен тысяч
We
элементов уже в
have
поставке. То
thousands
есть,
of
опять же, базовое, что я, по крайней
materials.
мере, рекомендую заказчикам, это если вы
I highly
расцениваете
recommend
какой-либо ПО для
to
дальнейшего приобретения и его
customers,
эксплуатации у себя в организации,
if you want to use
запросите
this
демо-лицензию и
system,
посмотрите
please
каталоги, сделайте анализ,
ask
сколько
for
потребуется
the
времени
trial
для
version and
наполнения,
see
либо,
how many
опять же,
time will you
зрелость,
need
наполненность библиотек.
to
Можно будет уже оценить. Ну, здесь показан
to
пример
master
просто
this
работы в
program.
программе. Я думаю, кто работал в
Here are
AutoCAD
some
либо в похожих
examples
системах,
of
инструмент
working with this
достаточно интуитивно
program.
понятен.
Those who
И
worked
здесь я бы
with
хотел
other
отметить, что клиенты,
foreign
которые
programs,
переходят или,
they can see
опять
that
же,
the
проходят аудит
the
при
use is
в
quite
дальнейшем использовании
simple.
нашего программного обеспечения, мы не говорим, что мы самые идеальные, у
We
нас самый
don't
лучший
say that
функционал.
it's
Мы аудит
perfect.
проводим с точки зрения
We look at
формирования
it
правильных
from the
бизнес-процессов
point
дальнейшему
of
заказчику
correct
при
business
использовании нашего
processes
программного
while
обеспечения.
using our
В некоторых
software.
случаях мы также
And
предлагаем
in some
использовать
cases we
уже имеющееся
offer
ПО, если оно у него, естественно,
the
лицензионное и не бессрочное.
the
То
software
есть
that they
поэтому
already
аудит
had,
здесь
if it
нужен,
was
опять же, с точки зрения
licensed,
правильных
of course.
последующих бизнес-процессов. Ну и я, опять же,
And I
наверное, просто
also
пролистаю, запущу ролик,
will
что из себя
just
представляет CADLib.
show
Это
you
система, среда, где собирается вся
the
информационная модель.
further slides.
Она интероперабельна, мы поддерживаем разные форматы, RVM, ATT, IFC, всем
We
известные. То
support
есть
many
здесь мы
different
достаточно гибкие в этом плане.
and we are
И в CADLib
flexible
уже
on
как раз
this
вы создаете совместную среду
aspect. And
разработки, поиск коллизий и
using
все
CADLib, you
то,
can
для чего она
combine all
непосредственно нужна.
the
И важно отметить
different
здесь, что мы как
stages
разработчик прислушиваемся к нашим клиентам,
of
и если есть
development.
необходимость
And as
доработки критичного функционала
developers,
по
we
согласованному ТЗ, мы
always
открыты к
listen
диалогу,
to our
поэтому здесь
customers.
всем,
We are
кому
ready
интересно
to
пообщаться, я здесь
communicate, to
присутствую, буду
cooperate.
рад
I'm
ответить на
here
вопросы. Спасибо.
to answer your questions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Вот смотрите, я такое небольшое замечание последующим докладчикам.
I would like to
Тем более не айтишник.
say a few words for further speakers. And when I'm not an IT specialist, and we have I cannot focus on details because we should focus on the important things. So as the owner, it is important to see something bright. What is the difference between our companies and foreign companies? That there is the integration with Russian companies and it's simpler to make a document flow. So, in order to attract attention, please focus on the main things. Unfortunately, the timing is 5 minutes, and I hope that next year we will be here for more days. Our main goal is the major construction, and if you compare it with other developers, they don't have many features that we actually have in our program. I would like to highlight it as our key aspect. Advantage. I would like to give the floor to Rafael Gabdulin, head of Gaskar Group, famous head, and it is. I would like to say that it is a unique Russian development. You're welcome. I'm sorry, dear colleagues. In our Oil and Gas University, we have a digital marathon. Those employees that work in construction companies will be there. And a few words about it. Advantages. And everything else will be covered by the by our
Спасибо большое,
university. Thank you
Михаил
very much.
Ильич, за приглашение.
Thank you for
Спасибо
your
большое, коллеги, что
invitation.
сегодня здесь. Очень
Thank
рад
you
побывать в
for
Уфе
having me
первый раз.
here.
Сам с
I'm here
Оренбургской
for
области,
the
всегда
first
мечтал
time.
посетить этот город.
I'm from
Коллеги, очень кратко сегодня
different
поговорим
region.
о том самом
And we will
инструменте, о
speak briefly
котором
about the
говорили
tool
коллеги,
that my
да,
colleagues
где наш
spoke
цифровой
about,
продукт будет являться
about
именно
our
инструментом
digital
взаимодействия, то есть
tool,
нашим повседневным,
the
можно сказать,
tool
орудием
of
работы,
communication
орудием
and
труда,
cooperation,
коим является Exxon.
which
Exxon —
is
это наша
Exxon.
собственная разработка. Мы
It is
компания
our
Башкортосtan
own
цифровой
development.
контур Аметист, являемся крупными
We
разработчиками,
are
отечественными
great
разработчиками,
developers of
резидентами
software.
Сколково. Полностью собственный продукт, отечественный, без импортных
It
компонентов.
is domestic. It
Продукт
is completely
предназначен
domestic
для
and
взаимодействия
developed in
партнеров
Russia.
в процессе строительства объекта, капитального строительства, соответственно. То есть от заказчика до
We
субподрядчика.
provide services
Если
from
кратко,
the
то
customer to
работаем с
supplier.
большинством регионов.
We work
Сейчас
with the
в
most of
стране
regions of
шагами
Russia.
огромными шагает пилоты и уже в
we have
полноценную
many
работу по ИСУПу входят в большинство
of
регионов.
our
Точную цифру
projects.
не назову, Елена Анатольевна
We are
Звонарева,
testing a
наверное,
lot of
подробнее
projects
подскажет,
right now
но в рамках
and
этой
implementing them.
программы
And
подразумевается полное переведение
as
в
part of
цифру,
this
в том числе
program, we are
строительного
planning
блока, то есть
to
взаимодействие
transfer the
генподрядчика
construction
с
block
заказчиком,
to
генпроектировщика с заказчиком,
online
соответственно, взаимодействие их со своими субподрядчиками.
platforms.
Exxon — это некая
Exxon
облачная
is
цифровая
the cloud,
экосистема, которая
digital
замкнула в себе,
system
повторюсь,
that,
всех участников: заказчика,
covers
техзаказчика,
supplier,
генподрядчика,
customer,
подрядчика, проектировщика и так далее.
subcontractors,
В этой среде
vendors.
они
In this
переводят все
field,
свои
they
взаимодействия с бумаги в цифру, в
cooperate
юридически значимый электронный
online
вид.
in
Это очень
digital
важно. Это
document
флагманский продукт
flow.
нашей компании.
It
С точки
is
зрения
the
безопасности, конечно, соответствует
greatest
всем нормам.
project of our
Вот та
company.
самая
It
цифровая
complies with
вертикаль,
all
как
the
называют в узких
requirements.
кругах ее звезда смерти, в которой присутствует ИСУП, и Exxon в
on
ней
the
занимает
slide you can see the
место внешней
scheme,
информационной системы. То есть в Exxon работают
that our
все
system
участники,
covers,
начиная с роли генподрядчика и ниже, также генпроектировщика.
having all of the
Вот, соответственно, в
important
Exxon
figures
ведется
in construction process.
работа по согласованию
There is
бесконечному
work
проектной
on,
документации в рамках работы заказчика и проектировщика. И,
compliance on
соответственно,
the
уже с начала следующего
documentation
года будет вестись
and
работа
agreements.
по уже отправке
And next year
в
we are
систему
planning
документов,
to
в
sending the
систему
documents
госэкспертизы.
into the
Также ведем цифровой стройконтроль,
state
исполнительную
expertise
документацию.
system.
Подчеркну, не только мы сюда сканы загружаем, мы внутри системы ведем и формируем исполнительную документацию. И, соответственно, выходим на акты выполненных работ. Работаем со сметой контракта с КСками. Exxon — платформа облачная, модульная, и она построена на той проблематике, на основе той проблематики, которую мы, собственно, сами познали, готовя объекты строительства к чемпионату мира 2018 года. То есть, погрузившись плотно в стройку, есть у нас структура, которая занимается генподрядами, мы для себя четко сформировали проблемы, которые присутствуют уже непосредственно при реализации строительного объекта. То есть мы можем говорить о жилом строительстве, мы можем говорить о каких-то спортивных зданиях, сооружениях, о линейных объектах. То есть Exxon подразумевает именно автоматизацию всех этих процессов. Основная проблема это была уход от бумаги, в принципе, от большой тонны бумаги. Если взять только исполнительную документацию на 2023 год, Департамент строительства Москвы, который практически на 100% реализует свои объекты в системе Exxon со своими генподрядчиками, дал нам такую цифру: на сентябрь месяц 1500 КАМАЗов с исполнительной документацией было сэкономлено благодаря тому, что перешли мы в цифру. Если брать только расходы даже на бумагу, не берем мы расходы на КАМАЗы, на транспортировку и так далее, вспомним начало прошлого года, когда у нас бумага взлетела в цене, и ее наличие тоже было дефицитным. Соответственно, мы получим достаточно серьезную весомую цифру, если брать только даже бумагу. Вот. Еще некоторые факторы — это повышение прозрачности, само собой, это автоматизация, полная автоматизация, исключение человеческого фактора и лишних итераций по бесконечному согласованию, замечаниям и перепроверке и переделыванию одних и тех же документов. То есть благодаря исключению человеческого фактора мы количество переделок в принципе уменьшаем. И время на составление, на согласование документов тоже. Переводим все в цифру, понятно, в цифры ведем. И график работ и
make
непосредственно
the
строительный
schedule
контроль.
of works
Также хотелось бы
digital
отметить
and
выгоду,
the
как мы
construction
говорили,
control.
для заказчиков.
And also,
Выгода для заказчиков и для генподрядчиков это в том,
the
что они
advantage for
значительно
the
быстрее между собой
customers is that,
уладят все замечания,
the
согласуют
supplier and
документы
the
и отправят в
customer
оплату.
can
Для генподрядчика это
communicate
очень
faster,
важно, потому что ему
and it is really important,
не
for
будет необходимости
the
лишний
vendor,
раз обращаться к банкам,
because they
чтобы
don't
заемные
have
средства
to
брать и, соответственно,
go to
оплатить
take
там свои
loans,
какие-то расходы,
etc.
ресурсы и так далее. То есть значительно быстрее получат
It
свои
is
деньги.
really
простыми словами.
faster to receive money.
Бизнес-эффект вот можно увидеть на этом слайде.
Speaking
Скорость
of
проверки
business
исполнительной
effect,
документации вырастает в
the
разы.
speed,
Прозрачность,
is
соответственно, благодаря
enhanced
уходу от
in
бумаги тоже вырастает.
5
Скорость
times
непосредственно
when using
самого
our
составления
system.
документов вырастает
Preparation of
порядка в 2 раза. И в целом
also
документооборот до 6
becomes
раз может
faster.
сокращаться. Вот, благодаря всему этому мы
all
можем
these factors,
говорить о том,
we
что
can
максимальный
speak of
эффект от
the maximum
экономии, да,
effect,
который можно достигнуть на ряде
from
кейсов, был до 20%. Мы не говорим, что это везде
money
так. Каждый
is
кейс
up to
разный,
20%.
индивидуальный, но вот до. Если углубиться немножко в технику, да,
Speaking
вот модули системы.
technical
Система облачная, повторюсь, нам не
aspect.
нужно никакого специализированного
You
ПО
don't
устанавливать
need
на свой
any
компьютер, вам
special
достаточно
software.
просто обыкновенного
just
компьютера без каких-то
need a simple computer
требований
without
специальных.
any
И
special
стабильного выхода в
requirements and
интернет.
just a
Система
stable
модульная,
connection
каждый
to the
модуль
internet.
закрывает свой пул задач
Each module
на
has their
этапе
own
строительства от предпроекта до эксплуатации. Почему мы говорим до эксплуатации? Потому что Exxon, формируя и накапливая в себе данные той самой информационной модели, передает эти данные для умной эксплуатации. Вот, соответственно, модули общаются между собой и передают информацию друг другу и исключают возможность и необходимость введения одной и той же информации по нескольку раз. То есть работа выстроена максимально оптимально, там затронуты разные бизнес-процессы, и бизнес-процессы эти могут быть достаточно гибкими. Мы можем, соответственно, немножко менять возможности генподрядчика, подрядчика, какую информацию кто из них может видеть, какие действия может совершать. Это все достаточно гибко настраивается. Из основных модулей хотелось бы отметить модуль PIR, это, о котором мы говорили по проектной рабочей документации. Модуль ТД. Здесь мы ведем общий журнал работ, ведем журнал входного контроля материалов, ведем, в частности, третий раздел ОЖР, согласовываем исполнительные схемы и на основе записи раздела 3 ОЖР в системе создаем акты исполнительной документации. Соответственно, объемы из модулей ТД, объемы работ мы можем передавать в модуль актирования, чтобы вручную их не вбивать и, соответственно, работать уже с тестами. Вот. Также есть модуль цифрового стройконтроля, там есть мобильное приложение, работает оно даже офлайн на объекте не всегда может быть настройки интернет, понятно. Там инспектор может в офлайн режиме отфотографировать, загрузить, сформировать замечания, и уже в процессе, когда у него появится интернет, замечания опубликуются. Есть модуль по работе с информационной моделью, с ЦИМ, или BIM, да, как мы иногда говорим. И модуль ESR для календарного планирования. Система синтегрирована не только внутри, да, между собой, между модулями, а еще и с внешними различными системами. Как я и говорил, с ИСУПом синтегрированы, с системами Госстройнадзора в разной степени интеграции готова система «Акцент» немножко впереди идет, и уже работают некоторые регионы. Торг-НД чуть позади, но к началу следующего года, в первом квартале, уже будет готова интеграция. Прямо из системы будем в ГСН отправлять документы. ЦЦП уже проговорили. Также система синтегрирована с системой автоматического проектирования со многими. Вот. И в рамках работы с BIM-моделями мы способны обмениваться BIM-моделями, замечаниями и так далее. Вот. Кому более будет интересно, можете тоже подойти. И вот в рамках ОГНТУ у нас будет практическая сейчас сессия. Коллеги там наши будут показывать и давать возможность поработать с системой. Подробное описание модуля. Вот, есть такой QR-кодик по внедрению ВИС-СУП. Это для генподрядчиков, которые работают на гособъектах. Мы все знаем, что постановление Республики Башкортостан вступает в силу 2024 года, и нужно будет исполнительную документацию передавать в электронном виде заказчику. Вот. На этом, коллеги, все. Призываю всех, наверное, активно подключаться. У нас тема форума послезавтра, но я считаю, что это послезавтра, оно уже наступило. На сегодняшний день мы уже должны максимально приложить наши усилия со всех сторон, как со стороны заказчика, так и со стороны всех исполнителей работ, чтобы вся эта цифровая трансформация заработала. Чтобы она заработала, мы должны двигаться синхронно. Вот. Поэтому большое
So
спасибо,
thank
коллеги,
you
за
very much, dear
внимание. Если
colleagues, for
что,
your
обращайтесь,
attention.
рады будем помочь.
Please contact. I will be happy to help. Thank you very much.
Тяжело прерывать докладчика.
It's always so hard to interrupt the speaker, but I'm sorry.
Зита
We
сейчас
have the
планшетом,
timing.
смартфоном, настройки настолько не удивить. Я думаю, что там через 3, может быть, максимум
It's
5
not
лет
surprising to
уже
use
будут умные очки,
smartphones,
может быть, по
and
форме.
I'm sure that we will have smart glasses and everything in the future, and all digital platforms and models, Exon, Adepta, will be integrated into our usual devices. I would like to give the floor to Maria Kanina, Head of Construction Digitalization Project at Adept Company. You have the floor.
Так, сейчас запустится у меня секунду. Уже мое. Да, я вкратце расскажу о нашей
I will briefly
компании.
tell you
Мы
about
занимаемся
our
разработкой
company,
программного
what we
обеспечения
do.
уже
We
больше
develop
20 лет.
software.
5 декабря нам
We've been doing
исполнится
that
21
for
год.
20 years.
На данный
On the
момент
5th of
более
December,
10
we
тысяч
celebrate
клиентов у
our
нас по
21st
всей
anniversary.
России и
We have
в странах
about
СНГ.
10,000
50 сотрудников, сейчас
companies'
164
client base.
сотрудника у нас, и
We
больше
have
100 из них это
about
разработчики, программисты
150
непосредственно, да, то есть у нас программное
employees, and
обеспечение
most of
полностью
them are
российское.
programmers and coders.
И
It's
занимаемся
Russian-based
его внедрением
software,
тоже сами.
and we implement it
Мы
also
оцифровизовали
ourselves,
всю
deploy it.
цепочку, то есть от
We have
загрузки
digitalized the whole
3D-моделей,
chain,
формат
starting from 3D model in the form of specification and bill of materials. Then we make a cost estimate
проверка
based on
сметы,
the
да,
3D model.
обновление
We
сметы
verify
после
cost
изменения
estimate,
3D-модели,
update. After some changes in the 3D model, we do the calendar plan of works, and then we try it on the 3D model itself. You can use a player to see how the actual construction process will be implemented, machines and mechanisms, circulation, facts from the construction site. So actually we have 5D model. Dimension 4 is time, as we know, and all of the as-built documentation. Construction supervision is based on web service. Here I have to say that we can download in XML format, and we know about this. And construction supervision, we have a mobile application for that. It may work in offline format. Very briefly, let me show you what the interface actually looks like. This is how we upload the 3D model. This is how the cost estimate is formed in our software. This is what the 3D model looks like, the cost estimate, and there is the chart, this is the graph, and those of you who will participate in the next block, everyone will be able to feel this magic, how to use a 3D model to convert it into the cost of works in the model. Here are our modules on as-built documentations, all the possible templates that are established by the governmental codes, and we integrate with various systems, and we streamline, we do some tailor-made softwares, we have various contractors, we adapt our documentation under their templates, and also we implement several business processes dedicated. Our main projects are dedicated to Irkutsk Oil Company. We've been working for quite a long time. You can Google that, general information I will not tell. They have a system of as-built documentation and mobile construction supervision. As of now, already about 600 facilities we have in our project base of successful projects. We have 553, we have 3,500 users, and we have about 12,000 inspections of construction control, so you will have all the numbers. You can study them in more detail. We also work with Kachkanar mine company. What they do now, currently, they are trying to cut on risks on breaking the deadlines of development of as-built documentation. Actually, just as one of my colleagues say, the people are available. The field engineers are online and they are available for contacts. We implemented a number of business processes for
они реализованы в системе, то есть мы не
Kachkanar
ломали ту структуру,
mine.
которая была уже
Actually, we didn't
накатана
have to
в
brace the
компании, мы
structure
ее
which we
реализовали
already
у
had
нас
available in
и
the
ввели
company. We
формы,
just adapted it.
которые
We
именно в
introduced
компании
document
применяются по
templates,
исполнительной
which
документации,
are
то есть с
used
ними
for
также
as-built
продолжают работать, как и
documentations,
раньше привыкли
and they
работать.
carry on working
Томская
just as they
домостроительная
used to be.
компания, одна из ведущих
Tomsk
компаний в
Residential
Томске,
Construction Company, one of the leaders in the
занимаются
market.
строительством
What they
жилых
do,
домов.
they
Также
build
внедрена
residential
исполнительная
buildings,
документация.
apartment
На
buildings.
данный
We
момент
also
уже больше
implemented a system
150,
of
по-моему,
as-built
рабочих мест,
documentation.
да, то есть
They have
постоянно идет
about
масштабирование,
150
расширение, проводится
workplaces.
строительный
They're
контроль при
enhancing,
помощи
they're
наших
scaling
систем.
up, they do
Также
construction
был
supervision
реализован их
with the help of
бизнес-процесс.
our
То
systems.
есть были
We
изменения
implemented a
конкретно под компанию
dedicated
внесены.
workflow especially for
И
this
заказчик на
company,
данный момент
and the
контролирует весь
client
процесс
currently
строительства,
controls the whole
оценивает факт
process of
выполнения
construction,
строительно-монтажных работ,
makes
несет
estimates
исполнительную
and
документацию.
assessments and
Всё
audits
по
of
нормативам,
as-built
как это
documentations.
требуемо. Просто
Everything
не
is
СПшкам и всем
based
остальным,
on the standards, on
в
codes
соответствии
and
с теми
reference
формами,
technical documents
которые должны
in
быть.
line
Ну
with the
и моя
templates.
любимая, да,
And
компания
last
— это
but
Первый
not least,
Трест.
my
Здесь в Уфе
favorite
работаем уже больше 3 лет.
Первый
С двум
Trust.
кстати, это я их познакомила.
I was the person who
У
actually
них
introduced BIM
реализован
technologies to them.
действительно
They have
подход к BIM, да, то есть
an
загружаются
integral,
3D-модели к нам в
they
систему,
have
они получают сметы
point-to-point
на основании
complete
3D-модели, строят
automation,
графики на
they do
основании
cost
3D-модели.
estimates,
То есть
they
этот
do
блок у них
graphs, they
полностью
do
сейчас
charts.
внедрен, и
So
на
this
данный
block
момент
is
у нас
completely
внедряется еще
implemented,
блок по
and
исполнительной
now we're also
документации, строительному
implementing
контролю. То есть
as-built
будет
and
полный
construction supervision
объем
unit. So they will have the turnkey,
цифровизации, да,
complete
компании
supervision.
внедрен. Ну и мои
And
контакты, пожалуйста,
so
обращайтесь.
here
Я
are my
уже
contact
спешу, к сожалению, на
details.
следующий блок, буду
Unfortunately,
проводить
I
обучение.
need to
С
run
удовольствием отвечу
to
на ваши
be
вопросы.
available
Мария,
at the
огромное
next
спасибо.
unit.
Хочу отметить,
I will
что
be eager to
TIM
answer your
вообще
questions. I
женское
have
лицо.
to
По
mention
нашей
that
статистике
TIM
67%
models, they have female character.
разработчики,
About
интеграторы,
60% of developers and
Кстати,
integrators
победители
are
ряда
ladies.
конкурсов.
And actually,
Еще раз,
they are
Мария,
among the winners of top
успеха,
competitions.
развития,
I would like to
и
wish
чтобы
success
количество вашего
and
персонала
development
росло.
perspectives
Те, кто
to
поменяли
Adept
вузы
Company,
в Грузию, были у
and
вас.
those of you
Переходим к
who
следующему
have
нашему докладчику.
changed Georgia for
Тоже
Russia.
кредо-диалог. На прошлой неделе
Let's go to our
состоялось такое
next
масштабное и очень интересное
participant,
представление
Credo
последней разработки
dialogue.
версии кредо. Это очень
We saw the
интересная,
latest
имеющая
developments. It's a
специализацию
very interesting company which
разработка.
specializes
И,
in development.
передаю слово
And I would like to
Сараевой
give the floor
Екатерине
to
Николаевне.
Ekaterina
Что самое главное,
Sarayeva.
вот из презентации
What
я
is
нашел,
most
что
important,
коллеги
which I
уже,
have
делают
gathered from the
разработку
presentation,
на базе российского Linux.
the
Для
people,
нас
they
Windows,
work
Microsoft,
based
что-то
on
привычное, но
Russian
коллеги тоже на
Linux.
своих даже бытовых
Linux.
компьютерах пора переходить
And
на российскую операционку.
I think
Пожалуйста.
it's time to switch
Михаил
to
Юрьевич за
Russian-made
представление
operation
такое. Я
systems,
вообще
even on
представляю
your
региональное
personal
бюро
PCs.
разработки программных продуктов, да, я непосредственно из
Actually,
Екатеринбурга.
I'm a representative of
Называемся
Yekaterinburg
KD Engineering,
region.
и мы как раз
We are
занимаемся
called,
внедрением
our company is
технологий
named
информационного
KD
моделирования
Engineering.
кредо
What we do, we
на
implement
территории Республики
Credo
Башкортостан и в Уральском федеральном округе.
technology. We do it in
Буквально несколько
Urals
слов.
and Bashkortostan
Действительно,
and
программные
Ufa.
продукты кредо на рынке
Indeed,
уже достаточно
Credo
давно.
software has been in the market for quite a long period of time, for many years.
Значит,
And,
с 1989 года программные продукты
Starting
существуют
from
на рынке.
1981, we have been present in the
В этом
market.
году
And this
действительно
year,
состоялась вот
indeed,
неделю назад
a week ago,
четвертая
we
платформа, презентация четвертой платформы
had
программных
our
продуктов
four
Credo.
platform. We
Это
presented
платформа для
platform
сквозного
number
информационного
4.
моделирования
It's
объектов
a
капитального строительства.
point-to-point
Это
information modeling for
платформа
permanent
полностью
construction
российская, то есть
buildings.
она работает
This platform is completely domestic.
мультиоперационно, она может
It works
работать как
as
на платформе Windows,
multi-operational.
так и на
It may
различных
be based
модификациях
either on
Linux.
Windows and
И
various
внесена в реестр
modifications of
российских
Linux.
программ для ЭВМ.
And it's
Я уже сказала,
included in
что
the reference
платформа
of
Team Credo
Russian-made
это
domestic
мультиплатформная,
software.
а отдельные
Credo is
задачи мы их
multi-platform,
проводим
and some of the
по частям. То есть
processes
это
we
могут быть
implement
инженерные
them
изыскания,
part
проектирование,
by part.
строительство,
This could be
эксплуатация.
surveys, design,
Прежде всего,
operation.
перед тем, как мы начинаем работать по
Before we
технологии
start
информационного
working
моделирования, мы,
based
безусловно,
on
организуем
information
среду общих
modeling,
данных.
we
За
arrange
это
an
в системе
environment
Credo
on common
отвечает
data.
хранилище документов.
We
то есть
have
тут
a
хранится
document
вся
storage for
информация,
that. This is a
результаты
document set.
работы, различные наработки,
We
шаблоны,
have
ведомости и все
results
остальное.
and
сама система
document
TIM-кредо, она обладает
templates and
большим широким
lists
спектром
and
по сбору
bills.
исходных данных. То есть тут мы
Actually, we
работаем
have
как
a
с данными
wide
по лазерному сканированию,
functionality
с
to
данными по
collect
фотографическим
surveys. We
снимкам,
do
классические
photogrammetry,
какие-то
laser
данные по
scanning,
планшетам,
classic
инструментальная съемка, спутниковое
instrumentation,
измерение. Это, в общем-то,
footage,
все
satellite
мультиплицируется в
scanning.
платформе
All this
и в
is
дальнейшем
arranged
становится
based
основой
on the
для
platform,
создания
which
информационной
later
цифровой модели
becomes
местности. Да, это
the
может быть
source data for
классические
the digital
данные,
model.
в
This could be
общем-то, по
classical
рельефу и
data,
ситуации,
conventional data
но в том
for the
числе мы
terrain,
ратуем за то, чтобы
and
в состав
also
информационной
we
цифровой модели местности была
want
включены еще данные по экологии,
the
данные по
information model to
гидрометеорологии, данные
include
по землепользованию,
environment,
и все это в
ecology,
дальнейшем
land
становилось
use,
уже основой
wind,
для
water
проектировщиков для
reserves.
использования как бы на
All
втором
this
этапе
becomes the input data
создания
for the
информационной модели
designers.
объекта капитального
And this is how we
строительства.
make a digital
Кроме
model
того,
of the permanent
максимальное
construction
наполнение
facility.
должно быть информационной
Also,
цифровой модели местности. Здесь мы
we
ведем
should
речь
have
о
the
создании информационной
model
модели
of
по геологии.
terrain,
Это преднацельная
geology,
модель, которая содержится
solid
характеристики по
model, solid
инженерно-геологическим
body model,
элементам.
which includes
На выходе
engineering,
полноценная информационная цифровая
geological
модель местности
models,
попадает
and
дальше
as
на
an
этап
outlet we have a
проектирования. Это
complete
может быть
digital
генпланы,
model
да,
of
это
the
могут быть
terrain.
какие-то
You
площадные
could use
объекты,
this to
либо
make
это
plot
линейные
plans,
объекты. В
or
частности,
you
здесь
can
представлена
make line
отдельная
models.
информационная
Here
модель
you can see
дороги.
the solid body model of a road.
Немаловажным фактором, опять же, наполнения
Important thing
полноценного
is,
сводной информационной модели
of a
это
summary
работа с
information model is
коммуникациями.
working with
Работа с
utilities
коммуникациями
is also very
основана на
important.
базе
It is
существующего
based on the
классификатора.
existing
Классификатор
classifier.
свободный, то есть
The
любой пользователь
classifier
может
is
его под
free,
себя
so any
подстроить, но в
user
принципе он
may
поставочной
adapt
версии
it.
тоже достаточно широкий
It's tailored,
и
it's
дает возможность
customizable.
создать сводную модель
You can
по
make a summary model
коммуникациям.
for
В
utilities.
дальнейшем
Then
эта сводная модель
you
может быть
can, this
использована для
model could
поиска
be
коллизий внутри
used to
платформы.
check
Для этого не
collisions
обязательно
inside
куда-то
the
переходить
platform.
там
For that
другие
purpose, you
вендоры,
don't
да, то есть
have
мы можем
to
искать коллизии
necessarily go to
непосредственно
other
внутри
vendors.
креда.
You can look for collisions
Кроме того, мы
inside
говорим
vendor.
о
You
том,
don't have to use
что
any other
TIM
software
это не
environment.
только проектирование, да, это всё
TIM
понятно,
is
но
not
мы
only
ратуем за то,
design,
чтобы
but also
данные
we
по информационным моделям они непосредственно передавались
we
уже от
want
проектировщика
the
сметчику для того, чтобы исключить
data to be
человеческий фактор, да,
transferred
при
from the
передаче
designer
объемов вот как
to
раз
the
таки от
cost
проектировщика
estimate
сметчику.
expert,
В данном случае у нас
making
есть
sure there are
интеграция
no
со сметной
mistakes.
программой
We
AWS,
have
и это
integration with
позволяет нам назначать сметные
ABC
свойства непосредственно из
program,
модели
and this allows us, in the process of cost
на выходе у
estimate,
нас
to use
получается
attributes
сводная
from the model.
информационная модель
As a
объекта
result, we
капитального
have a
строительства,
summary
которая, опять
model
же,
of a
либо
permanent
полностью, там,
construction
либо
facility,
отдельными,
which
наверное,
is
ее части
either
используются
fully or
для
partially
строительства.
used for construction.
Может
Construction
быть
may
с применением
also
программного аппаратного
be with the
комплекса
use
TIM-Credo 3D
of
SAL, то есть это
TIM
отечественное
Credo
решение,
3D
которое, в принципе, способно заместить зарубежные
a
решения именно на стройке, да, на
automated,
стройке каких-то линейных объектов. Либо на стадии
CAD,
эксплуатации, когда мы наблюдаем
computer
за
assisted
какими-то
design.
информационными процессами,
Then
также
also
используются
operation,
составные
if we,
части сводной модели
if we see
объекта
deformations,
капитального
we use
строительства. Ну,
model
и так как
for
мы в любом
assessment,
случае все
and as
взаимодействуем
all of
по
us
принципу
interact
open beam, да, то
on
есть
the
мы
basis of
обмениваемся с
open
коллегами
beam,
по цеху
we
по цеху
exchange
информации.
data with
У
our
нас есть
colleagues,
большое
and
количество обменных форматов,
we have,
экспортно-импортных.
we can use
Развитие,
various formats, as you can see,
большое
both
развитие,
for import and for export of
большое
data.
развитие
And,
поддерживает форматы IFC и XML.
We
Ну
support
и это
IFC
позволяет
and
нам, собственно,
XML,
обмениваться с
which allows
теми же
us
продуктами
to
Renga,
exchange
с Model
data
Studio
with
и
Renga
с
and Model
BIM-платформой
Studio
Synfo.
and BIM platform called
Всё, что я сказала,
S-Info.
позволяет
Everything I have mentioned
заместить
allows
ушедшие
to
вендоры на территории
substitute the
Российской
vendors
Федерации, ну и, в
who
общем-то,
have
не
left
только
the
на
Russian
территории, да, и в
federations,
странах СНГ
not
тоже
only
есть наше
in
присутствие.
Russia, but also we are present in
Мы регулярно
CIS
участвуем
group
в
of
различных
countries.
конкурсах, в том числе
We
одно из
participate in
подтверждений
competitions on a
эффективных
regular
технологий
basis.
это
One of the
конкурс Team Leader, да, в котором
confirmations of
коллеги
effectiveness of our technologies
завоевали
is
уже
Team
несколько
Leader.
призов, и
Our
в
colleagues have
2023
won a
годах
number
это
of
были
prizes,
призовые первые
and in
места.
2023 they were among the
Коллеги, я
top
всех призываю переходить
winners.
на Team,
I
на Team Credo,
I
а мы вам
highly
обязательно
recommend
поможем.
everyone to switch to
Более
TIM
подробно
and
после
BIM
обеда
models.
тоже я
In more
расскажу
detail,
о
I would talk
продуктах
about
Team Credo. Пожалуйста,
Team Credo
можно задавать вопросы уже после обеда.
after
Спасибо.
lunch, and you're welcome to ask your questions.
Thank
Thank you, Ekaterina. Actually, you are bringing us to the next report. I would like to give the floor to Ascon and the president of Ascon Ufa branch, Marat Magasumov, is here. He should mention that the integration of key vendors who acknowledge everyone, who celebrate. And I think the fact that we can exchange data between the platforms is the
is the result of this work. Greetings, colleagues. I will try to be brief. Since the software complex for construction, thanks to the efforts of the government, is determined, we have picked up a strategy to use our strong points, the achievements which we have, and the integration with the rate of the complexes which are actively developing. And in this sense, I would like to talk in more detail about our two software packages which we ship for the industry. Is the general overall data called Pilot BIM. This is an environment of common data. You can check collisions, you can implement construction tasks in terms of construction supervision. This system is also integrated with many construction control systems and a complex BIM system called Renga for design to prepare digital models. It has great multi-user functionality, and also it supports Russian standards in terms of DTP and formatting of documentation. It follows all the templates in order to highlight our experience that we have had in the past several years in terms of active transition to BIM. I would like to mention several cases, success cases, which we had used by construction companies. Company number one is ProGorod, is the daughter company of the Development Corporation of Russian Federation, of Web Bank. Here, the project was to switch, to make a migration to Venga. As part of this transition, the processes were adapted, and we formed the libraries of typical design concepts for apartments. This helps to save up to 50% of time when making up the budget and to save on materials by 10%, as there was no overuse of the utility systems of materials. This is Sber developer, Rublevo-Arkhangelskaya, Sber City. The highlights of the projects were that very briefly, very shortly, the project was switched from foreign vendor to Russian-made vendor in terms of common data environment. In 4 or 5 months, the work in the newer environment was actually restored and started in the full scale. The company will continue its operation. It has more than 50 contractors, a huge data set, and the program is used to work on the whole quarter's titles. Settle Group is also among the top 3 construction companies of Russia. It's a currently implemented project. What they do now, they migrate into the general overall data, common data environment. They also look at Renga as a perspective for adoption. They very quickly switch to our products, domestic products, plus huge plans, as the company has very well-developed construction control and author supervision block. Another current project we've been working with the Permanent Construction Department of the Government of Russia, of Ufa. There was a huge project based on BIM, the environment of common data, the framework of common data, and as of now, we ship the software, and we are expecting shipments of products with substituted operation system from foreign one to Russian one. I'm sure that very soon we will have the single storage of documents and data, plus there will be integration with construction application based on one as USO. Last but not least, according to various opinion polls, which is made by NOTIM, everyone mentioned that there is a lack of head count, lack of staff, and we also support this thing. We provide licenses to universities and schools, all the top higher educational institutions. They have Rengen pilot of our systems. We also hold championships and competitions
we
В регионе также
hold
плотно
them
сотрудничаем с
ourselves and we
Офис-группой.
support other.
Поэтому
We cooperate with
лицензиями
Ufa State Petroleum
образование
Engineering
обеспечено.
University.
Спасибо
So
за
I think
внимание.
that we're in good company. Thank you very much for your attention. So thank you. You showed some of the facilities like Sber City. I go back and forth. These are the milestones. And Rublev-Arkhangelsk. And the slide you showed, we've been to their office. Very comfortable. And the only suggestion I have, Renga participates in the competition stated by the government of Moscow to select the best team. Since you are here and in Moscow, there are some other people organizing it, but I suggest this idea to the best team, which is held usually by one of the universities. There are construction and development companies, Peak, Etalon, Samolyot, Rosatom, the Permanent Construction Control Department of the government of Moscow. And Renga will give your licenses. And by doing so, we will have a fact that many companies will use Russian-made software, but the prize award sum is 300,000, second place 150, third place 1,000 rubles. And I see in the past years the winners were females. I'm not sure about finance. Well, the budget of Moscow allows to do that. And in the same way, we will meet at the International Construction Championship where Renga participates. The deputy minister just made me some criticism. Why don't we have Russian software? Still, Western track. Go and kick Rosatom. We should have Renga, we should have NanoCAD, and we want to make sure you are integrated into championship, in the problem solving, in the tasks, etc. I think that my colleagues will support me that there were a lot of licenses issued. And I think that, and just 1 minute for the rest. Looks like we are finishing. I would like to give the floor to the Architectural Construction University, Ufa Construction University, Petroleum Company, Dmitry Kuznetsov. Please, as a follow-up.
Together with the Association of Constructors, we have decided to organize the construction marathon, and we invite all the people from construction field. The most important thing is that if we understand that the person has the interest in such event, we will arrange it annually. I would also like to mention that we have made the servers, and we made 60 working places, and we're interested in presentations and test drives for designers. I would also like to share my experience. I've searched for honored scholarships in Moscow universities, and now I see that in January and December we are going to choose students. For example, our company gives 5,000 or 10,000 rubles to the student. They don't want to lose such people after. And I recommend you to implement such practice. We have this practice. We've made it, and we are ready to start working. Thank you. Thank you very much. To sum it up, on behalf of the hosts, I would like to say that there will be the QR code on the screen, and please follow the link and participate in the poll and make the forecast for the future.
смыслами, энергией профессионального и международного сообщества. В общем, почувствуйте себя
Feel
футурологами.
feel yourselves as feel like you are making a future. And I would also like to thank Mr. Andrei Nazarov, the Prime Minister, for the attention that he pays to this sphere. And thank you, Adel Gennadievna, for your support, that you make priorities and you implement great practices. Thank you very much again. So, dear colleagues, we are done. Thank you.